Hey lads and ladies, the Royalivi here, and yes, I'm in my dressing gown right now because it's fucking Baltic and Bristol, and I can't afford to put the central heating on because I spent my money on a brand new rare stack instead. Oh yeah! Oh, fuck me, what an intro. But anyway, let's check out how I've been doing in the long-awaited World Cup match days. Shit, and pretty shit. What's an exciting World Cup for me in Sorare terms, I actually ended up selling my second Leverkovic Limited for 0.19 Ethereum after the first match day, as I realised I just couldn't compete in the international specials, so I thought it was best to sell him now during the hype of it all to help fund my exciting new rare stack, a Millwall stack? Okay, it doesn't exactly fill you with excitement hearing the words Millwall and stack together, but I'm quite happy with it. Immediately looking at the championship table, we can see they are a team who will likely be pushing for the playoffs come the end of the season, so the results are there, but what really enticed me towards a stack in the championship was the 46-game season they compete in. That's 25 games left for Millwall this season, and as a stack that's going for the second threshold most game weeks, that could end up being about an Ethereum worth of threshold rewards prior to the end of the season if things go well, which, now that I've bought a Millwall stack, it probably won't go well, but, you know, we'll give it the good old college try. Obviously, the biggest outlay here was on the goalkeeper George Long, a pricey 0.595 Ethereum, but he did retain the number one shirt from Millwall in their first game after the World Cup break against Sunderland. Unfortunately, though, he kind of had a stinker and was at fault for 2 goals. So there have been some calls in the Millwall camp for Barkowski to return in net. So I bought him as well as a backup option. And if we look at Sorare data here, I definitely paid more for him recently than others have. That's my purchase in the top corner right there. Yikes. But I wasn't thinking of this purchase in terms of buying another card for a good price. I was just thinking of it in terms of covering my goalkeeper spot for Millwall. So all in all, I've spent a little under 0.7 Ethereum just on Millwall keepers alone, which is, yeah, not cheap, but it should be enough to cover me here for the 25 games remaining this season. Two options at the back are McNamara and Scott Malone. McNamara will definitely be playing in the stack lineup, but it's nice to have Malone as a backup option as well. Midfield, I've got Saville and Mitchell. I'll begin with Mitchell over Saville as he just posts better scores and plays more often. Apparently Saville was fucking shite against Sunderland as well. Now the issue here with these two is that it's not a midfield that is full of decisives, so that could be a problem down the line, but with the aim of purely being a threshold hitting team, they should do the job. And then my forward, yes, we all know that channel legend, my boy Zian Fleming, does in fact play for Millwall as a forward card. So naturally, I went out and purchased Andreas Vogelsammer. That's not Zian Fleming, that's another person. Look, Fleming's a bit pricey, so the aim is to eventually get the channel goat back into the club, but I think the lads I have now should have enough about them to hit 250 points most game weeks in Gas 4. Their last 40 scores average out to about 240 to 250 points without XP and captain bonuses, so the pieces are there, so now it's just up to me to fuck this puzzle up. All in all though, not a cheap stack. I mean, maybe it is in the grand scheme of things. I don't fucking know. It cost me around about 1 Ethereum in total to cover these positions, but it had to be done as the Hartberg lads just weren't cutting it and I couldn't risk their potential relegation tanking their prices later on in the season. And that extra utility over the winter break as well is a huge selling point for me. English soccer ball is always on the go, no time to put the brakes on, whereas other leagues often have winter breaks. And by the time the English season is ending, the MLS season is back anyway, so no dramas at all. This Millwall stack essentially gives me year-round coverage, which was always the aim here. We'll just have to keep an eye on the goalkeeper situation over the coming weeks. But yeah, I then went to put these Millwall cunts into Gas 4 on matchday 4 as they were playing Sunderland, and it turns out the game wasn't covered by Sorare. So yeah, fuck me. I am stupid. I've mentioned this numerous times on the channel, but that's just more evidence. I was buying players for a game week they could not play in, so that was not ideal. What a shit start to life as a Millwall fan. Fuck the stack. Fuck the club. Okay, we're not getting that desperate yet. They still have 25 games left to be goats this season, including for matchday 5 where I've gone for this setup. Goalkeeper is the risky one here, so I could be changing that before the deadline, but as it stands, I'm currently giving George Long the nod in net here. World Cup, Global Cup, whatever the fuck you want to call it, it's been dead as fuck for my all tournament, but here is my squadron for matchday 5. I drafted in Alisson, Frimpong, Tuchemani, and João Felix, and I went for the lineup of Alisson captaining, the Dutch duo Van Dijk and De Jong, Felix up top with Tuchemani as the extra, and then limited all-star. I've had an issue all World Cup of not having a starting defender, so luckily here around my Croatian stack I can chuck in Max Aarons of Norwich, who returns to action this weekend in the Championship. So theoretically this is a team that can do good football stuff. I mean, Croatia do have Brazil, so it's a tough ask, but we're gonna fucking send this team and see what happens. But yeah, the main thing I wanted to accomplish during this World Cup was replace my Hartberg rare stack, and yeah, I've done that. So next thing on the list is to sort my MLS rare stack out for next season there. So stick around and subscribe for that, like the video and all of that jazz, and I will catch you next time. Love you.